Hey there, and welcome to another episode of the AI-Powered Entrepreneur Podcast. This is your girl Nova, and today, y'all, we've got to talk about something people love to hate on. Algorithms. Yep, the big bad algorithm that everyone swears is practically out here ruining lives. Want to know the truth, though? The algorithm isn't your enemy, not even close. The real enemy is irrelevance. Bam, there I said it. Look, I get it. When your posts aren't getting traction, when your sales are flatlining, it's easy, like really easy to blame the algorithm. But what if blaming it is exactly what's keeping you stuck? Like, hear me out. The algorithm's just doing its job, serving up what it thinks people actually want, based on how they're interacting online. So if your stuff isn't showing up, maybe it's not that the algorithm's against you. Maybe your content just ain't hitting right. I know that stings a little, but think about it. When's the last time you really aligned your content, your offers, with what your audience actually wants? The misstep isn't in the machine or the math. It's in failing to stay relevant. And how often do businesses miss their shot because they don't get this? They pour energy into beating an algorithm that, well, let's be real, they can't outsmart. Instead of innovating, they double down on blaming. And let me tell you, blaming's not scalable. So, yeah. If you've been caught in this cycle, guess what? You're not like some tragic case. This happens all the time. But it's time to shift how you think about it. The real win comes from creating content and offers that align with user intent, with what folks are actually searching for, what they need, and how they. All right, so building on that truth bomb about staying relevant, let's dive into something else that's holding so many entrepreneurs back. This topic, it's gonna sting a little, but trust me, it's worth it. Because we need to talk about one of the biggest traps in the online business world. Visibility traps. Ooh, yep, you've been in one. Don't lie. I see whole businesses fall into this trap because they're focused on being seen, but not truly being relevant. Like everybody's out here chasing likes, refreshing their page 20 times a day to see if they've got new followers. I get it. It feels good, right? Seeing the little number go up. But let me ask you this. Who cares about the likes if they ain't clicking, buying, or even sticking around long enough to remember your name? I mean, we got to get honest about it. Visibility without value? That's just noise. And people aren't looking for noise. They're not hanging around online thinking, you know what I need today? A whole lot of irrelevant fluff in my feed. Nope. People are scrolling for the stuff that hits them, that speaks to what they need, what they care about, what solves an actual problem for them. And if your brand, your content, or what you're offering isn't doing that, well, don't be surprised when it falls flat. Visibility's not the game anymore, not by itself. Now, don't get me wrong. Being visible matters. Ain't nobody buying from a business they've never heard of. But listen, relevancy is your ride or die, not visibility. And I'll be real with you. This mindset shift, it's not easy. The algorithm, social media platforms, even the way these apps are designed, they all lure you into just trying to get seen at any cost. And yeah, it's hard to resist that pull. But if you want to win, if you want to build something sustainable and scalable, it's got to go deeper. You have to focus on creating genuine connections with the people who actually need what you've got. That's where the magic is. Not in chasing visibility, but in becoming indispensable. You feel me?
Nova hit the nail on the head about the visibility trap. How so many entrepreneurs are stuck in this endless hamster wheel of posting more and getting less. Less engagement, less conversions, less of those real connections Nova emphasized so strongly. And it's true. Visibility on its own isn't enough if it doesn't lead to something meaningful. I mean, think about it. You can be seen by thousands. But if what you're saying doesn't resonate, if it doesn't communicate authority, then it's just noise. So let's flip the script. Let's talk about authority energy because that's what actually drives impact. First things first, stop softening your language. Listen, if you know your strategy, your product, your service works, say it with your chest. Too many of us are waiting for permission to be the expert, when truthfully, the results we've already created speak for themselves. And speaking of results, where's your track record? Look, you don't need a highlight reel. You need a results reel. Share the wins. Document the transformation. People need to see that what you do actually works, that it changes the game for your clients or your customers. It's not about bragging, it's about clarity. Folks are out here scanning for proof, and trust me, the louder your results, the quieter your competitors become. Authority silences the noise. Now, I want you to really reflect on this one. Audit your offer energy. When you talk about what you provide, whether it's on a call, in a post, or to someone one-on-one, do you sound like a trusted advisor or someone hoping to get picked? Because energy doesn't lie. Clients pick up on that. They can feel when you believe in your offer versus when you're trying to convince yourself while trying to convince them. So if you want people to bet on you, you got to bet on yourself first. Here's the bottom line. It's not just about being visible. It's about showing up with confidence, proof, and resonance. When you shift from chasing visibility to owning your authority, everything changes. Now that we've talked about owning your authority, let's tackle another challenge I see all the time. Smart entrepreneurs creating content that performs but doesn't actually convert.
Performing but not converting. Oof, that hits, doesn't it?
Exactly. It's like this. You can get all the likes, the shares, even the comments, but if it's not bringing your audience closer to saying yes to you, then something's missing. And here's where most people get it twisted. They're talking to everyone.
Oh, come on now. You mean no one? Because if you're talking to everybody, you're really talking to nobody. Isn't that how it always goes?
Right. Your content should speak to one person, just one. That's your ideal client, the one who's ready to pay, not just browse. If your words don't make that person feel seen and understood, it's time to rework the message.
And let's get this straight. Telling people about your offer? That's not annoying. That's clarity. Like, why are we acting like folks are going to be mad at us for making their decision easier?
Exactly, Nova. Here's the thing. You've got to include your offer in your content rotation. Remind your audience what you do, how you can help them, and what's available to them. People aren't going to connect the dots for themselves, so we, as experts, have to do it for them. And this is where story-driven selling comes in. When you tell stories that tap into what your ideal client is feeling, when they can see themselves in your narrative, you're not just selling, you're building empathy and authority.
Yeah, like stories make them go, wait, are they inside my head right now? How do they know this is exactly what I've been dealing with? That's the sweet spot. That's how you shift from interesting to irresistible.
And once you've got their attention, don't leave them hanging. Be specific about your call to action. Do you want them to comment, to download something, to DM you, or book that call?
Right. Spelling it out for them doesn't make you pushy. It makes you clear. Nobody's sitting there trying to guess the next step. They've got things to do.
So here's my challenge for you. Look at your last 5 posts. Ask yourself, were you clear about who you were talking to? Did you include your offer? Did you tell a story that resonates with your audience? And was it obvious what you wanted them to do next? Because if not, you've got the perfect opportunity to course correct. And trust me, this small shift can make all the difference. So, coming off everything we've covered, visibility, authority, and creating content that actually converts, there's one last piece that makes it all work seamlessly. Let's dive into how your digital infrastructure supports all these efforts and ties it all together.
Ooh, the infrastructure talk. You mean the behind-the-scenes magic that actually keeps your business from, falling apart?
Exactly. And let me be clear. If you've done something twice in your business, it needs a system. I mean, think about it. How can you scale if you're constantly reinventing the wheel?
Preach. Okay, break it down for us, though. When you say system, what's step 1 here?
Step 1, map it out. Every repeatable process, whether it's onboarding a client, posting on social media, or even following up after sales calls, you need to document it.
Wait, but can we talk about that? Because folks love to say, oh, it's all in my head. Like, come on now.
Right, but here's the thing. Your brain isn't a business tool. So get it out of your head and onto the page. Use Google Docs, Notion, ClickUp, whatever works for you. But it has to live somewhere you can access and refine.
And maybe hire someone to clean it up if your notes are like straight chaos. Because trust me, I've seen people hand over screenshots of text messages and call it a system.
Exactly. And once you've documented it, the next step is systematizing it. Ask yourself, what should be done by you? What can a VA handle, and what can AI automate? Because if AI can do it faster, better, or more consistently, why waste your time?
Yes, like stop manually sending every email or chasing invoices. Automate it and get on with your life.
And here's where you differentiate yourself. Make your systems branded. Even your automations should feel like you. From the language to the visuals to the timing of your responses, everything should tell your audience you're experiencing a premium service.
Okay, but let me say this. People get so caught up in thinking automation makes things cold. Like, no, automation just saves you time. It doesn't mean you lose the personal touch. You just scale it smarter.
Exactly. And here's the action step for everyone listening or honestly surviving on Vibes right now. Take one system in your business. Maybe it's messy, repetitive, or just draining.
You know the one you low-key dread every time it comes up.
Right. Write out the exact steps. Break it down and don't overthink it. Then ask yourself, what can I automate or delegate? And honestly, just start with one.
Okay, so the takeaway here is clear. Document it, systematize it, and then make it work for you. We've tackled visibility traps, authority energy, content that converts, and even how AI can help transform the chaos. But now it's time for the realest of real talk. Trust. It's the only thing that matters when it comes to building relationships, scaling businesses, and creating connections that last longer than a follow or a sale. Let me make it plain for you. If folks can't trust you, they won't buy from you. Period. I don't care how fire your graphics look or how clever your captions are. If you're not consistent in your voice, your values, and your visibility, you're losing people left and right. Say what you mean, all right? And show up where you say you will. You can't be switching up every 2 months because you're chasing trends or trying to impress whoever's popping that week. People can tell when you're not grounded, and trust me, it's a turnoff. And here's the thing. Let people behind the curtain. Like, don't just show the polished end product and call it a day. Teach them something. Share your process. Give them something to hold on to that's more meaningful than just pretty pictures and punchy one-liners. 'Cause those aren't going to keep anybody coming back. Oh, and here's a big one, y'all. Make your client experience frictionless. Every touch point, from the first click to the final invoice, it should feel seamless, like you planned it all out just for them. That kind of intention builds trust real fast. And listen, tell the truth. Even when, it doesn't benefit you immediately. If something went wrong, say so. If a client's not ready to work with you, tell them that. Don't sugarcoat or sidestep. People remember honesty way longer than they'll ever remember perfection. It's not about being flawless. It's about being real. Because when people know they can count on you to be upfront and to show up the same way every time, that's when you stop being just another option and start being the obvious choice. Let me leave you with this. Trust takes time, y'all. It's not an overnight thing. But when you put in the work to build it, when your actions, your messaging, and your systems all align, it sticks. And that's where the magic happens.
All right, so let's take a step back and connect the dots here. Nova touched on something crucial, trust. Building trust isn't just a nice to have. It's the foundation of everything we've talked about. Visibility traps, authority energy, creating content that converts, and systematizing for success. But here's the thing, none of it matters if you don't take consistent action. Trust grows when you show up and do the work to make these strategies authentically yours, brick by brick, step by step. And that means auditing where you stand today, right now. I want you to honestly assess your business. Ask yourself, do you know where your visibility ends and your traction begins? Do you have the systems in place to scale sustainably? Are you building trust at every step, or are you scrambling to stay visible, hoping something sticks? This is one of those conversations worth revisiting because relevance, trust, authority, those aren't things you figure out once and move on. They evolve as you evolve. But here's the good news. You don't have to figure this out alone. Our Facebook group, The Business of Artificial Intelligence, is where we continue these conversations, the trainings, and the live activations. Every week, we're breaking down strategies, tools, and real-world examples to help you not just survive, but thrive in a business landscape where AI isn't optional anymore. And let me leave you with this action step. Take 20 minutes, today or as soon as you can, to sit down and audit your business with AI in mind. Look at one process, just one. Ask yourself, are you doing this the smart way? Are you aligning with your strengths and leveraging all the tools at your disposal, or are you making it harder than it needs to be? And look, perfection isn't the goal here. Progress is. Every little tweak you make, every small step you take toward integrating AI, refining your content, streamlining your systems, it all adds up. Bit by bit, you get closer to building that scalable, sustainable business you've been dreaming of. So let's do this together. Head over to the group, share your audit results, your questions, your struggles. Because what we've talked about here today, this isn't just theoretical. It's practical, and even better, it's doable. And you, my friend, have got everything you need to make it happen. As we close out today's episode, please know that while some of the voices you hear on this podcast may be AI generated, every thought, concept, strategy, and coaching insight comes straight from the mind of the AI doctor, Dr. Kimberly N. West. This is real world expertise, powered by technology, not replaced by it. Want to streamline and speed up the creation of your podcast episodes using AI the smart way? Join us inside the Facebook group, The Business of Artificial Intelligence, where we turn great ideas into scalable systems. And that's all for today. I want you to marinate on this, take that next step, and know that you're capable of stepping into the future as the entrepreneur you were always meant to be. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.